29th edition of the Spanos All-Star Classic is set to kick off Saturday at Mesa College. It's an afternoon ball game, December 15th. The important thing to know about this game is it raises money for the High School Sports Association, $5 for kids, $10 for adults. By supporting the game, you support high school sports here in San Diego, and that's worthy of your attention. We have a unique live conversation set up. The man you know to my left is Coach Ron Gladnick of Torrey Pines fame, but he's coaching the North All-Stars. And joining us from the South practice field, there he is, Scott Longerbone from Steel Canyon. Gentlemen, thank you very much. Ron had to drive in, so we're going to start there, Scott. What does it mean to you and your Torrey Pines staff to be coaching the North All-Star team?
Well, it's a great opportunity to get to know kids you've admired for a long time. You know, a lot of the guys who are playing for us are kids who've played against us, and, you know, having them all together in one field is pretty cool.
Are we going to see any wing tee offense in the North portfolio this week?
Absolutely. I wouldn't want to disappoint Scott.
All right. Well, you know, we have Scott here. He's watching. Listen, tell Scott what you told me.
In terms of what, Paul?
In terms of that you have a camera at the practice field. Right?
Oh, yeah, we're filming all your practices.
Scott.
Chair's going up in the hill right now.
Yeah. So, Scott, I'll ask you the same question. You know, it's the first game without Alex Spanos with us. What does it mean to be representing him and the Chargers in this, what is a very special year?
I mean, it's an awesome opportunity when the coach is involved. Asked myself, and they said that Ron was going to be the other coach. I couldn't pass on the opportunity. I've got some great kids out here, some big, fast kids, which is really fun to coach.
Do you put in your offense, or do you put in a whole different scheme? I mean, how do you do it?
I don't know. Ask Ron. He's been watching all my practices. So.
All right. Well, listen. We had Bert Grossman in studio. He's involved with the High School Sports Association. He's trying to make this game bigger and better. Here's what he had to say about Edition 29. I want you guys to listen to it, and then I'll get your reaction.
The rosters are the best we've had, I want to say forever, or back in the days when it was the only game. We made an effort to make it much more of a visible game this year, you know, with social media and other things. But we have our viewing party where we give out the jerseys and everything next Thursday.
We'll be there, of course.
For Kansas City game, yeah. There's going to be some former Chargers there, all being compensated, but not me, no.
Well, you're being compensated spiritually. You're doing good for the community.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, I know the Spanos name generates strong reaction in this town, but I want to encourage folks to put that aside. Remember, this is a fundraiser. Make your pitch. Sell some tickets.
Yeah.
Coach?
Well, you know, from a head coach's point of view, and I'm sure Scott would feel the same way, if I could have this group of kids every single year for the rest of my coaching career, I'd win a lot of CIF titles. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to see great players play at a high level.
And Scott, your reaction to representing the Spanos and telling people, hey, support it.
Yeah, I mean, just the opportunity to see literally the best football players in San Diego County on a Saturday afternoon down at Mesa College. I mean, why would you pass on that, any kind of opportunity like that? So I would encourage, you know, any just football fans, come to the game and check it out, because it's fun to coach them. I can't wait to see them play on the big stage.
So let's just go over this a little bit. How many practices do you have, Scott, to put in an offense and a defense?
4.
So how do you do that?
4. Well, most teams anymore run in relatively close schemes. You know, there's inside-outside zone stuff, and we're going to run our same 4-3 defense. Most of the guys know how to align. So with these guys, really, at the level of football that they play at, it's just line them up and get them going, because these guys, they've got some engines, man. These guys get up and go.
So, but Ron, how do you set on a terminology? Everybody runs, like you said, the inside zone, but everybody calls it something different.
Yeah, like I'm sure, Scott, we're all doing the same thing. We're trying to come up with quick, easy-to-learn terminology, you know, that allow a group of kids to play at a high level in a short period of time.
All right, so we're going to throw a graphic up. The downside is they moved this game up in the calendar because they want to be the first All-Star game. But because of the way the CIF state playoff system goes, these 4 schools are still playing. Those are 4 schools that you cannot draw athletes from. You could not get anybody from Orange Glen, but I'm assuming Scott takes the biggest hit because Cathedral's considered a South team. Lincoln So third three. I know 5 athletes on the. I have 8 athletes that you're missing out on, Scott. Is that you should petition the High School Sports Association?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, kudos to those guys for getting the opportunity to play in a state championship game. But yeah, last time I checked, I think I lost 7 all-CIF players to that state championship game. So that's. But I'm still loaded with some great talent. So the guys that are here are going to put on a great show on Saturday.
You know, Cathedral's considered for some reason a South team. I get it. They're division. Why not break this instead of making it North-South? Why not make it East-West? And that way you can. There's a bigger cultural exchange.
Whatever gets Cathedral in the North works for me.
What do you think about that, Scott? Instead of making it a North-South game, make it or is it too much of a hassle to get kids from the South Bay to come up to the North to practice, or vice versa?
Yeah, probably the travel would be a little difficult with that, but those are all decisions that are way above my pay grade, man. I'm just out here coaching football. That's how it gets divided up and whatever happens. I'm coaching these dudes right back here.
Very good, and I appreciate that. I wanted to give you guys both a chance. We had a great moment. I don't know if you got to see our Silver Pigskin Gala Tuesday night, but Coach Shaq was there, obviously representing the PPR, and he has a pretty unique accomplishment in that he has 3 guys that won section titles this year that played for him. Talk about Coach Shaq a little bit, Scott. What does he mean to this community?
Such an icon, you know. I'm lucky enough I get to see Shaq all the time. His grandkids go to school here at Still Canyon, so I bump into him in the parking lot all the time, and it's a history lesson in football every time I get a chance to talk to him. I consider myself incredibly lucky because of it, and I think anybody that gets the chance to sit and talk with Shaq, take advantage of it, because the guy is a gem, man. He's a good dude.
And you know, you were in the audience, Coach, and you saw Tracy McNair give that great speech. You're talking about the 0-10 coaches, the 5-5 coach. He was named the Coach of the Year, but he was accepting the award for everyone. That's the mentality that every coach should have everywhere, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And like we were saying, you know, I think in San Diego we got a great coaching fraternity. A lot of guys doing it for the right reasons, and in the end, we're trying to build good young men and give them a great experience while that's happening.
All right, well, gentlemen, we have to call it quits right there. The game is Saturday. It's an afternoon tilt, $5 for the kids, $10 for the adults. Make sure you support both these coaches, all the kids, and high school sports here in San Diego. Scott, go back to practice. Ron is going to practice. Yeah. This is what's coming your way tonight on the ASR after practice. We have a bunch of stuff coming your way. Sportscast is over. Back to my esteemed colleagues on the news desk.
I'm coming.
Yeah, lots of good stuff around here. Well, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Yes, we look forward to seeing you again tonight for the